Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. You can't have these two things in the same time and say that you are honest. One is to say that Su-35, the Russian fighter jets, are garbage, but then cry if someone buys them. Like they're arming themselves. So either the fighter jets are good, therefore these guys, if they arm themselves with them, then you say, well, I'm crying, that's not okay. Or they're garbage and you should not care if these guys buy that garbage plane. We can't have it both. It's garbage, but I cry if this buy it. No, let them buy it because it's garbage and we're going to just destroy it. Good job. That means you're going to use your resources to buy garbage so you can't buy good quality from us. So this is what happens with Iran. Iran finalized a deal of buying Su-35 fighter jets from Russia. If you ask the Americans, they will tell you that's garbage. But on the other hand, they will all cry about it. Oh my God, they're arming themselves. Now, which one is it? Well, it is according or depending on the circumstance. Now, if we are about to say how strong we are, we're going to say how advanced and extraordinary we are. We're going to say Sukhoi is garbage. If we want to, act and kick this guy in the teeth, we're going to say he armed himself with those lethal fighter jets. That requires a reaction. Yeah, man. Don't you think? Yeah, let's go. Let's gang on this guy. Not alone, gang. Because courage is always in groups, in the number, and cowardice is always alone. All right, let's get this little article going. This comes from Al Mayadin, which is an Arab independent news outlet, well, skewed towards Arabs, obviously, but we don't have anything to deal with that. So we don't have Israel here, so it's not going to be any skewed towards anybody. But they don't really like the U.S., so probably they're going to have a little, skewed towards Iran. So Iran finalizes deal to acquire Sukhoi 35s from Russia, UN envoy. This is from March 9th, all right, 2023. I'm glad you agree with me, guys. Iran finalizes a deal on buying Sukhoi 35 fighter jets from Russia after the deliberations that have been ongoing for months. All right, beautiful. Look at this. Beautiful. Okay, now Iran has finalized a deal to purchase Sukhoi 35 fighter jets from Russia. Iran's mission to the United Nations told Russian news agency Sputnik, though they refused to disclose information on the number. Well, boo, that's exactly what I want to know. On the number of aircraft and the timing of their delivery, as that is classified information. Well, that's good because that plays psychologically to exactly the worst case scenario, the unknown. If they would say, well, we'll buy 3,000, I'm just exaggerating, obviously, with, okay, 3,000, how can we defend ourselves? How can we plan on destroying 3,000 Sukhoi 35s? And then you start making plans. But like this, you don't know if it's going to be 10,000, it's going to be 3, it's going to be 5. And I'm quoting, following the end of the Iran-Iraq war in 1988, Iran asked a bunch of countries to buy fighter jets. And Russia said it was open to selling, and I'm quoting, the mission said, I'm sorry, that was in quotation. They said they're open to selling, the mission said. And I'm quoting again, the Sukhoi 35 fighter jets are technically acceptable to Iran. So after October 2020 and the end of Iran's restrictions on conventional weapons purchases, UN Resolution 2231, Iran finalized the deal to buy them. End quote, Tehran's delegation added. Moreover, the diplomatic mission did not specify when the deal was finalized exactly, nor how many fighter jets Russia would deliver to Iran and when. And I'm quoting again, there are no details to be published because it's classified. End quote. Probably they don't buy any. Probably they don't buy any. It's just to make it sound like, hey, we're arming ourselves, so back off. The mission added. It was reported in mid-March that Iran was expected to receive multiple Sukhoi Su-35 fighter jets from Russia as early as March. MP Shahryar Heydari told Tasnim news agency that alongside the fighter jets, Iran will also receive military equipment such as air defense systems, garbage again, according to Americans, missile systems, and helicopters, garbage again, because ours are better and we blow them in Ukraine like they're little flies, drunk flies, after they, suck some fermented fruits fallen from a tree for a while. That they had previously ordered. Media has reported that 24 of the fourth generation twin-engine super maneuverable Sukhoi fighter jets meant for air superiority missions are part of the package. 24. Better than nothing, but not impressed. In September, Iranian Army Air Force Commander Hamid Vahedi announced that the RIAF is looking to purchase Russian Su-35 fighter jets. Even Turkey was considering the Su-35 as an alternative for the US-made F-16s in case of a fallout with the United States. Iran and Russia have been undertaking measures and agreements to boost their economic, trade, energy, and military cooperation. In December, CIA Director William Burns pointed out that the US was concerned about the growing cooperation between Russia and Iran and fears that it could eventually evolve into a full defense partnership. You think? And I wonder why. This is not your fault. No. Burns and no. That's not your fault whatsoever. It's just, bad people flock together, right? This is the first time in decades that Iran has acquired new fighter aircraft, with the exception of several MiG-29 Fulcrum Tehran bought back in the 1990s. The RIF currently uses the Russian MiG-29 and modified F-4 Phantom seconds, F-14 Tomcats, and F-5E/F Tiger seconds from the United States, which Tehran had gotten from Washington under the US-backed Pahlavi regime. Oh my God, that was 1979. 1979 is like, I don't know, you buy a car from 1979, you want to use it every day. Okay. The national interest, you want to compete with a Lamborghini or something. The national interest reported earlier in January that Tehran potential purchase of dozens of Su-35, Russian Su-35s aircraft would give an unprecedented boost to Tehran control over its airspace, especially in case of an aerial military confrontation against the Israel occupation. See, they couldn't leave that out. Not that I care, it's just an observation, okay? So, in late December, some reports revealed that Russia will soon be providing Iran with a complete squadron of Su-35 fighters in the near future. So, and despite some Western assessments tending to downplay Iran's potential acquisition of the aircraft, believing that it would not drastically change the air power balance in the Gulf, the purchase, and I'm quote, manifests a grim calculus for the West, the report suggested. Well, this is, and then we have here U.S. Defense Lloyd Austin said Thursday during a meeting with Israeli Security Minister Yoav Gallant that military cooperation between Russia and Iran bears negative repercussions for the Israeli occupation again and the entire region of the Middle East. Yeah, you can be allied, but the other ones cannot be. Yeah, the repercussions of Russia's transferring sophisticated military technology to Iran may be felt throughout the entire region, the senior U.S. defense official added. Despite the warning about cooperation, the Israeli occupation discussed with the U.S. a bilateral defense partnership. See, they can have a partnership, including the Juniper Oak exercise, which was recently concluded between the two sides and had been attended by over 7,000 Israeli occupation forces and U.S. troops. Meanwhile, the Pentagon said both parties agreed to continue cooperation in the area in the military sphere, or i.e., for example, military sphere. Well, that's okay. Well, as I say, why scared, homie? That's garbage. Shouldn't be concerned. On the other hand, this is another BS that the mass media tells us. They said that the Russians are giving. Listen to this. I covered that in a previous video. The mass media, the free mass media in the West says, well, the Russians are giving the Sukhoi 35 because the Iran will gonna give them drones, Shahed drones, and I'm thinking, oh, and the Russians will give the Iranians nuclear technology or nuclear material to get drones. Now, for me, it's like, how much money, how much technology, how much equipment, how much work is to build a Su-35 versus a drone? I guess if you put everything for a Su-35, maybe not the material, but even though the material is much expensive than the freaking drone, I'm talking about material, then not only that, the components inside are more complicated and technologically advanced than a freaking drone, that you remote, boom, and you have a little thing, or you go to the satellite coordinates. It's so cheap. So these guys are telling me that the Russians cannot build drones, but they can build Suhois. And they can also have nuclear technology, but they cannot build drones. Or they cannot build a factory in about, a month, and get it going in a month and a half. So in 2 months, it's going to be a production of, 3,000 drones per week. You tell me it's not impossible? They don't have the resources or something? What prevents the Russians from doing that? Manpower, technology, resources, material resources? What? None of this. And the Russians can get that going in about a month and a half. I guarantee you that. I look at Stalin, okay, in the Second World War. Those guys switched to a war economy in what? No time. They started building the T-34s in what? In thousands. And these guys can build a freaking drones like this wide. Really? Delta wing and a little bit of explosive. And Jesus Christ. And they supposedly, the Russians hired Iranian military to train the Russian military how to use the drones. You can take a toddler and instruct them in 5 minutes. You don't really need, this is forward, this is back, this is left, this is right, this is up and down. And this is boom, this is loom. That's it. What the hell, man? It's unbelievable, man. But they give them Sukhoi 35s in exchange. How dumb can you be to believe that? I tell you, below 86, about 40% of the population. All right? And believe me, even if you speak with intellectuals, like in my case, and you're going to find them really, they need it. The Russians can't do that. The Russians, and a lot of them give you this argument. Well, do you think you know more than the New York Times? Maybe I don't know more regarding that issue, but I think I'm more honest than them. And if I want to know more about that little weasel who wrote that article, I can find out in about 10 minutes and a half. Okay? I'm going to be more informed than that weasel over there. But I have more this. I'm honest, or at least I try to be. That guy's not honest at all. So I think I'm giving you more than these guys give you. That's why these mainstream mass media love people that talk about other things, because they use misinformation. Why? Because what we bring is something that you don't know, and if you would know, you keep it hidden. Yes. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.